So recently there's been a little interesting development involving Sporty Dross, since apparently all the clapback he's been getting from a bunch of different people has been so incredibly intense. Because when you start shit, everyone else saying things back to you should automatically be considered to be an expectation, but apparently he didn't expect anyone to say shit because he's so used to getting whatever he wants from people. But nevertheless, apparently he's made some really shitty, half-assed crybaby community posts that Damien shared a minute ago. Well, more like an hour ago, but the fact is, I'm gonna read it and respond to it because I figured, why the fuck not? It might be a little bit fun to get my digs in while I can, because honestly, this little shit kind of pulled some things, which are pretty fucking shitty to me. So, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go for it and hit him while the iron's still hot. Alright, Butthurt Post says, I have decided to block all of Damien Skyfire's accounts and his friends from my social media, despite my efforts to clap back and shut him down. Well, here's the thing, if you start shit with people, you have no right to try to shut the other person down because you're the one constantly doing things to vie for their attention and be antagonistic. You lose any right to bitch and complain when you annoy the fuck out of other people, and then when they tell you to fuck off in one way or another, you keep trying to intensify the conflict. You're the one that kept trying to make it persist, instead of fucking off when people wanted you to go away. You're not the victim here. You're just the asshole that wants to play victim because he fucked himself up by constantly being an annoying pain in everyone's ass. He remains too ignorant for his own good. Dude, you're so fucking dumb that you admitted to being a fucking idiot whose IQ barely goes above 70. Not to mention the fact that you're the dipshit that started it all. You have no right to complain about ignorance or stupidity when you're the motherfucker that started it. Why bother confronting a 36-year-old who only causes trouble, as opposed to being the dipshit that's slightly younger that only causes more trouble? Alright then. He constantly targets my family members, which is unacceptable. Motherfucker, you and your boy Chodebreaker basically took turns going after other people's relationships and personal lives, talking shit about them when you know nothing about anyone else in the fucking room, except for the bullshit that your dipshit Studi friend brought up. Remember, Foodie was the only one that actually told you anything about anyone's life, and I guarantee most of the shit he told you was a flat-out lie. Seems to be his typical MO, get retards to do the work for him, and then you decided to be the first dipshit in line to do so. I've tried to act tough in response, but now I find myself contemplating actions I never imagined possible. Well, here's the thing, if you know for a fact you don't have the emotional and mental fortitude to handle a long, drawn-out back and forth, then why the fuck do you instigate? Why the fuck do you antagonize if you know for a fact you don't have the balls to stick it out when you've started it? I don't fucking understand that at all. That's not who I am. I'm a troll in the AFL community, not that kind of person. You're not really a troll, you're just a brain-dead fucking mong who decided you wanted to follow other people around and act like an annoying douche to everyone. That's not really trolling. We call that harassment and stalking in most places. It's not the same thing as saying one or two retarded-ass fucking statements to mildly irritate someone and then saying, you know what, this isn't really funny, and then fucking off. You made it a point to keep harassing everyone. If I can't win, there's no point in continuing the fight, since there's nothing to gain. Dude, this was never really a fight worth winning or even having, because a lot of it was just you being an annoying retard for attention. Literally none of this had to happen. You made it happen because you're a fucking idiot that's obsessed with getting people on your ass. You're like the dipshit that everyone dealt with at school who would start shit for no reason, then fuck off when no one paid attention to them. And that for some reason you didn't understand the massive amount of hypocrisy when you do all that shit and then cry about it later when someone says anything at all to you about it. Going forward, if he decides to make a community post or video about me, I'll automatically report YouTube's terms of service. It's clear he hasn't received the message that I want nothing to do with him on a personal level. Here's the thing though, none of this shit has ever been on a personal level. It's always been a professional level, based upon you fucking with people on their platform and them telling you to fuck off and bother someone else. It's never been personal. You try to make it personal by going after people's personal lives to start shit with them. That's been the main thing that you, Studi, and Chodebreaker like to do. You like to talk smack about other people's personal lives when the three of you have less of a social life than my pinky toe after I bang it into a coffee table leg. Almost done. Let's stick it out a little bit longer. It's gonna take me fortitude just to get through this, because this is fucking bullshit. I am sorry for some of the things I have said to him, and I'll take full responsibility for that. However, I do not want to engage further than necessary. You didn't need to engage at all. You literally looked for shit to start with people because your idol and an acquaintance of yours or a friend of yours were getting anally chapped that the person in question, Damien being namely Damien, and myself and other people were basically just telling both of you to get fucked. Not like you ever will, but you know. Damien Skyfire, if you are reading this community post, know that I am willing to completely step away from this debacle. You've made it clear that you want no communication between us, and I am offering you a chance to make it happen. If you are willing to let me be in time, we could reach a point of neutrality and even friendship. Let's leave this conflict behind for good. Dude, people wanted this to stop a while ago. It's just that you and Chodebreaker refused to fucking stop. A person shouldn't have to block 35 different accounts, for example, when it comes down to Chodebreaker. You shouldn't have to be blocking like 50 fucking accounts because the one dipshit that's harassing you makes 3 more every other day. But the point being is this, people are not trying to continue the conflict. It's just a half-assed apology that you're offering out of self-preservation. People don't want to continue the conflict, but it's like you're just making this fucking apology because you're hoping that if you bullshit people enough, that people will no longer say anything about you. That's all it is. I don't really believe that you actually give a shit about this. I just believe you're giving people a half-ass apology because you know that the only way to get yourself out of a jam like this is just to bullshit everyone that you're sorry and hope that nobody remembers the fact that you might double back on it again. You brought all of this upon your fucking self. People are not going to talk about you any further, I imagine, but it's not because they actually want to go along with this little dumbass truce idea that you've brought up. It's mainly because there's nothing else left to say. Because you're literally just making a bunch of whiny, pissy, half-ass apologies and then crying about it because you act like a victim whenever you walk yourself into a rake over and over again. All I'm saying is go fuck yourself. People are going to comply not because they want to, but because they realize that dealing with you would finally be resolved, and everyone's just going to leave it at that. Get bent.